Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you subscribe if you like these kind of videos. So before I get started, I just want to go into it by saying I apologize for not uploading episode 2. I watched it at like a weird time, and by the time I figured out I was gonna do like a recap, I was like, I might as well wait for Monday. So I'm doing episode 2 and 3 in this video. And I don't think I want to do recaps Sunday night as soon as they come out. I know that's when people want to talk about them, but usually I like watching it a second time so I can write down my notes. 2, I feel like it's not fair to do it right away because some people haven't seen it in case they want to watch a recap or like discuss it with other people. So I think I want to start doing it like uploading my videos maybe Monday evening. It will give people that have probably are starting to go back to work now a decent amount of time to have watched it. And even though I don't have like many subscribers on this channel, I want to, for every review I have or recap I have, movies, TV shows, whatever, I want to start doing like a discussion, like live discussion, like going live and talking about it. So I can do a recap, and then after that, we can have like a discussion, me reading the comments and stuff like that. And then I could start scheduling it like that. So if that's something you guys want to do or interested in or think it would be a great idea, let me know down in the comments. And I want to thank the people that have been subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And now that I've rambled enough, let's get started. So episode 2 is, the title is Somebody is Lying. So we start off the episode with Arabella and Terry. They met up for lunch and they were discussing how, everything went. I think they were, Arabella was letting Terry know how the night went, what she did and all that stuff. So they just started walking. I mean, no, before they left, like Arabella she was like talking, but she wasn't eating. And, this is something that Terry notices. And she's like, well, girl, what's up? Are you not hungry? And Arabella herself, she's confused, like, well, I'm hungry. I don't know. I'm not. She basically like didn't have an appetite. So after they left, they were walking or just going. Yeah, they were walking to Arabella's place. And so I remember before this, Terry, while they were having breakfast, something. I think it was breakfast or brunch. It was one of them. And Terry said to Arabella for her to not like feel constipated or something like that, because that's how Elvis died. What? That took me. Terry be saying, she be saying stuff. But when they were walking, I liked that they showed, because this is what has happened to like me and any of my actor friends. If you have an audition, no matter where y'all are at, if you both know about it, that can be your scene partner. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are, it can be a scene partner. So them like, helping Terry practice for her audition, and, like just Arabella pointing out where she messed up here and there and just correcting her. That's just so realistic. If you're an actor or if you just know that you have to practice for something and your friends are helping you, it don't matter where you're at, you're going to get it done. So in that same moment is when Arabella was showing Terry like on her phone screen that this is how you're supposed to say, but this is how you said it. She was like, oh, thank you. And then that's when Terry realizes, she was like, how did you crack your phone? The whole time Arabella has had her phone, she's probably constantly on her phone and didn't realize her own phone has cracked and shattered. It's actually how much, what's the word I'm trying to use? How she's just put a lot of things that like the trauma that happened to her in the back of her brain, because she didn't even realize her own phone had been cracked until Terry brought it up. So like, it was like a receding memory that like she was just trying to not have in the front of her mind. So to me, that was really like telling of how everything is just playing out in her mind, or her state of mind to say. So she's looking like, I don't understand. I don't remember how I broke. I don't remember. She was really thinking about, like, how did I crack my phone? Because Terry was like, girl, how you don't know how you crack your phone? Listen, if you drop your phone slightly, even on a carpeted floor, you will know. You will know how you dropped your phone. And my girl Arabella she couldn't remember. So, she was like, let me call Simon and find out how this happened. Because, he was with her last night. She called Simon. Simon didn't answer. And then Terry called Simon and he answered. Y'all already know, if you see my first episode 1, Simon is trash. We don't like Simon over here in this household. We don't like him because he's trash, like his cousin and his friends. They're all trash. Okay? Simon is trash. Anywho, so he answers Terry's phone call, didn't answer Arabella, but basically Arabella wanted to know what happened. And he was just going along. Simon is not a good liar. Because he was just, every time Terry said something, he would just like piggyback off of what she said, but he wasn't sure himself. So that was just weird. And then right before this happened, Terry was saying that she needed to move her audition. And I didn't understand why she said that. She didn't have to, because she made it seem like in order to call Simon or whatever, she had to move her audition. I mean, us not knowing anything that has happened at this point, there was no reason for her to move her. Like, girl, your friend is just going to her apartment. This was, like I said, this was before she knew anything was going on with Arabella. She's like, fine, I'll just move my audition. Girl, no, auditions are important. And that's not realistic. You just can't move your audition like that. Like, what? If you don't make your audition, that's it. You're not Brad Pitt. No one is moving the audition for you. What? I don't know. Is that how? I don't know. I've never had a chance, unless you could change the time slot, and that's even rare. Whatever audition time they give you is the audition time they give you. So I was a little confused by that. Let me know if y'all cared or even noticed that she said that. I was like, why are you moving your audition? For what reason? Why? Anywho, so they're in her apartment now, and Terry and Arabella, they're just like going back and forth, talking, and this girl hasn't slept in 35 hours. Even if her memory was going to come back to her, everything that happened, the fact that she hasn't slept in 35 hours is going to make your brain a little fuzzy, and you're going to be tired. You're not going to want, I don't understand how it may be the drugs, but I don't understand how she has any type of energy. I don't know how she's doing it. So at this time is when Biagio called. I don't know what's going on with them two, but clearly he cares about her, because he keep calling and she's just letting it ring out. And that was it. So Terry's like, listen, girl, I got to go to my audition. She tucks her in, helps her wrap her. I'm like, friendship goals, so cute. She helps her wrap her head, her edges, and she tapes up a poster on the wall. So she left, and, Arabella is trying to sleep. Something happened. I'm pretty sure it was a memory that triggered in her brain, and she jumped up, and then the poster fell again. That made me laugh. So the ATM memory triggered in her brain. So now she's on a mission. She's on a quest. So she goes to Simon's place. So now we cut to Carrie. We cut to Terry at her audition, which was a little awkward, y'all. It was just like, okay. It didn't start off like that. It started really great. I will say, for her audition, she killed it. She was really, really good. She read her lines really, really well. The problem came where the two women that were interviewing her, this is why diversity matters. Listen, I have notes on a video that I plan on doing on my beauty channel, and it's called Dear Hollywood, and I'm like touching on the beauty, the fashion, the hair, and the makeup on there, and like in Hollywood. Stay tuned for that. Once I upload another video, I'm gonna link it here. Anyway, it's two white women that are interviewing her. They asked her what was the most freeing thing that she's ever done. I don't think the answer they were expecting is what she said later on. And then they had the black girl there. Clearly that black girl didn't really have any power, because once they started asking her about her hair and her wig and if she could take it up, I'm sorry. If you had real black friends, if you had real black friends in your life, you would know not to ask stupid questions like that. It's rude. What? Anywho, now I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I know how these things usually go. I'm not saying it's right, but usually in a breakdown is like when you have an audition, they give you a breakdown of what the character is like, what the scene is like, especially if you're coming in. So you can just, you can be comfortable in the role that you're going to read for your audition. You want to be comfortable in that role. If Terry knew this was a hair, like if in the breakdown, because usually they always tell you what it is, what you're going to do in case you get the job. And when you come on set, you know what you have to show up like. Sometimes when I go to audition, they tell you, like I said, they tell you the breakdown, they tell you what you want to look like. Sometimes when you're on set, they want you to come hair and makeup ready, or they tell you not to come hair and makeup ready because they have something specific that they're going to do for you, like your hair and your makeup. If she knew this was going to be a hair campaign, I honestly, in my honest opinion, if all that brief was given and the breakdown was given, she should have went there to her audition with her natural hair, just so they can see, because this is just how it is. If it's a commercial, if it's a campaign, whatever it is, if they're going to be washing your hair, they need to know what your hair looks like. Okay? Don't tell them you're going to, if they hire you for the job, then you're going to show up to what your hair doesn't look like now, and it's not what they thought it would look like in the audition. So as casting directors, if that's what their job were or is, I understand where that's coming from, because girl, show us your hair. This is what the campaign is for. Now, them telling her to take it off right then and there, that was wrong. But for her to know the type of audition that she's going on, I'm like on a tangent here, but the type of audition that she was going on, she should have known better, to be honest, realistically. And it was really awkward though. Like, I thought she killed the audition, and then they started asking her to take off her wig. I was like, ooh, whoa. I'm sorry, what? You want me to, I should do what? No, I'm not doing that. Sorry. Honestly, also, when she came back to tell them the most freeing thing she's done, I don't think she should have said that. She should have made up something. This was already awkward ending. They could have still hired her. They just probably wanted to know, right? But an audition is an interview. You want to bring your best foot forward. Telling them you had a threesome, I don't think that's what they wanted to know, girl. If you wouldn't say that in a real job interview, why are you saying that here? It's like, this is stuff you tell your girlfriends and people that you're like really cool with. This is not something you say in an audition. Oh my God, Terry girl, when she said that, I was like, oh, girl, you can't tell that to these people, girl. So now cut back to Arabella. She's now at Simon and Kat's place. And she's basically questioning Simon and trying to find out, what happened last night, what's going on. And he's full of shit. He's a liar, a bad liar at that. He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just like finishing Arabella's sentences, and it's not computing. And homegirl's like, listen, what's going on? Let me see your Uber receipts, because I need to know why what you're saying don't match up with what I'm thinking. And then even Kat basically caught him in a lie. Like, you just said your cousin was right there at the hotel. So how did he pay for the Uber? It just wasn't making sense. And Arabella was like, I need to take a picture of your Uber receipts because I just need to know. My girl, her receipts got her to Alyssa's place. I literally was not expecting that at all. Guys, I was not expecting that at all. When that girl opened the door, I was like, what? Child. So all of this happened and Alyssa is going off. Like, she was basically like, I think my drink got spiked too. And when Arabella brought it up, like, I think Simon may have something to do with this, she went off. And once Arabella was leaving, she kept going off until this girl got in her Uber. Like, girl. And speaking of Alyssa, remember the scene, just the scene before when Simon made something new? And Kat was like, this tastes good, but what is it? And he basically lets her know. Why do I feel like he got the idea for that recipe from Alyssa, from when he'd been going over there on Thursdays? That's what I think happened. I caught that the second time I watched that. I was like, wait. Maybe that's where you learned that from. Talking about I don't know, I just came up with it. You're not that smart and you're full of shit. I don't like Simon. So every time I get to bash him, he's full of shit. Okay? So as Arabella is in her Uber, she basically calls Kwame, meets up with him, and they're at the station now. So at the station, I'll say it's at the station, or maybe it's at the hospital. It seemed like it was at the station, but then, they were just showing us her getting examined. So I'm just going to say the station for the sake of this video. But so Fumi and the other lady, I don't even remember what the other lady was that was questioning her. And I like that it was mostly the black lady questioning her, because sometimes when white women are asking questions, it can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like, sometimes it feels like the only person that can relate to you is somebody that looks like you, which is very understandable. So Arabella, I would say at this point, she's still in denial of what's going on when Fumi is interviewing her and asking her all these questions. And I know to her it felt very invasive, but honestly, invasive questions and probing questions is probably what's going to trigger something in your memory and something in your brain. And that's basically what happened. And, them showing her cuts, her leg, like on her knees and stuff like that. And then the bruises on her, like on her, oh my God, I can't remember the part of the body this is. Oh my God. It wasn't on her waist. It was on her like pelvic bone. That's what it is. On her pelvic bone area. And it was just like, I was so sad for her. And trying to probe her memory some more, Fumi was asking some more difficult questions. And then she was explaining to her, because when she was explaining what the attacker may look like, Arabella was almost like, well, I didn't say this was the case. Excuse me. I didn't say that this was the case. But for me, it's like, you could see how she felt bad for her. So she was explaining. And the thing is, she was saying she didn't know the other guys that were there. She only knew Simon and his cousin. And when she was saying this, when she said something about her falling, and it was just like, we all see how Simon, aka human garbage, is, because she was like, that is weird that he would leave me there. Yeah, because he's full of shit and he got his own demons and his own bullshit to deal with. But F Simon, guys. I don't like him. But anyways, when Arabella was explaining to Fumi what the guy looked like. And then Fumi came back with, well, you know, you were seeing him from a different angle. What if, and then she stood up, she showed her. And once that happened, it was like something clicked for Arabella. And, you know, I think that was the moment she realized that she had been assaulted, like, you know, raped. It was really, when she started crying, I felt so bad. I shed a tear. Like, this not, I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad for her. Like, the character and Michaela. Like, because knowing that this is a true story that happened to her, it's so sad. It's so sad. And that must have been so hard for her to suppress that memory. And now being interviewed about it is what's bringing it to light. I felt really, really horrible for her. So next they're showing, you know, she's at home, Kwame is there, Terry is also there, and basically, like, I'm just gonna wrap this part up. Basically, she's saying that Terry apologized. She was like, I should have been there, and she was feeling guilty. And I'm like, there's nothing for you to feel guilty about. Like, absolutely not. There's nothing for Terry to feel guilty about, because she said this was the conversation that they were having in the bed, and Kwame was so clueless. I mean, she ended up asking her how her audition went, and she said bad, and I thought it went good until all that crazy stuff happened. Basically, she was like, we just need to have a pact, so you won't leave me like Italy, something like that. And I'm like, the girl told you she was leaving. And I was like, I don't think Terry should feel guilty about anything. Like, she didn't do anything wrong. Until I saw episode 3. And a lot of people might not agree with me, but we're going to talk about that soon. Pretty soon. So after that, they cut to Kat. She knocked on Alyssa's door. Because at this point, we know it's Alyssa. She knocked on Alyssa's door, and Alyssa opened the door. And Kat was kind of like taken aback. But Alyssa was not. She's not here for nobody no more. Alyssa opened that door. That girl said, honestly, I would do this, but I'm tired. And then slams the door on her. Alyssa was not with the bullshit anymore. She was over it. She was over it. She's over it, and she's over y'all. Okay? She's like, stop coming to my door. Leave me alone. And we noticed earlier she called Simon, and he's ignoring her too. Simon, why are you trash to everybody? You're trash to Alyssa at this point, because her drink was also spiked. You're trash to your actual girlfriend, and you're trash to someone that's supposed to be one of your closest friends. Why are you such human garbage? Explain it to me. Make it make sense. Because, what? Moving on. Let's move on to episode 3. So episode 3 starts off with 3 months ago, before any of this happened. And we are in Italy. Arabella's at a cafe. She's writing. She looks happy. She looks good. She looks healthy. My sister's glowing, you know, just happy, working on her script. And then, or her book, whatever. I'm saying script and TV show and movie because we know that this was for like writing for chewing gum. So sorry if I'm just going to keep saying script. So she's writing this, and then Terry calls. She's like, I've landed. And then she got happier. I was like, yes, y'all about to have the best time of your life in Italy. And obviously, this is going off of the previous episode, trying to explain to us what happened in Italy so we get full context, so we can know, does Terry have the right to feel guilty or not? So she got there, and when she gets there, she's showing Terry the Airbnb. She's like, yes, on company's dime, expenses, okay. But basically, she was just so happy that Terry was there. You know, it was nice to be somewhere, and then one of your best friend or your best friend is there with you. She was just so happy and elated. And then Terry's like, she showed her Terry's room, and Terry's like, I'm fucking on his bed. And that she did. She sure did. She sure did. So in the midst of this, Terry brings out the weed. So they chopping it up. Arabella's cooking. Terry's chopping up the weed. That's what it looked like. Yeah, it was weed. And it must have been some strong weed. I mean, I don't smoke. I never have. But I know people talk about different type of stuff. This must have been something real, real strong. Like, because the way they were high is actually jokes. They were so high. They legit were so high. Y'all, they were so high. I couldn't, they were so high. Anyway, they cooked with it, they ate, they scrapped that plate clean. And then they went to like somewhere else to eat because, you know, the itis, I guess, or the munchies, that's what it is, the munchies. They went to a cafe or a restaurant, tried to eat. The waiter at first was not with they shits, okay? He was like, they giggling, they high. He did not want to deal with it. So then a waitress came and she knows what's up because as soon as she saw them, she's like, y'all good? Is it Molly? And they looking at her like, because at first the waiter, she asked for the menu and the waiter was like, the menu is right there. Terry was out of it. Terry was out of it. And she was just like, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. I was dying. But anyway, the girl came, Matilda is her name. And she was like, well, the basketball court is the best place to go if you want more, like basically if you want more drugs. And she brings them fries and then brings them water. And the fries was on her. It was on the house. She basically gave them free fries. She gave them free fries when they got to the basketball court and they saw her. They called her free fries. I'm dead, yo. Terry, she be having these one-liners or these just lingos. Cracking up. So this episode, I would say, it's telling us a story, but I think it's very linear. Like, it's not too many things happening. There's no story of like anybody's agents. There's no story of the roommate. There's no story of Simon and Kat and Alyssa. It's very, very linear. Even though it's like linear, it's still things happening inside of that, if that makes any sense. So hopefully I breezed through this because a lot didn't happen, but a lot happened at the same time. So after that, they basically got the drugs, and that's how we met her current bae, Biagio. And he basically gives her the drugs, or not gives it to her, sells it to her. She took the money out. Terry was going to pay too. She was like, no, girl, expenses. So she takes out the cash. Biagio snatched the money from her, took the correct amount, and gives her back her money. And, she was looking at him. She was feeling the kid or whatever. But basically, she wanted his number. She knew she wanted his number. And then she said, can I get your number too? He said, no, you have enough drugs. He said, you have enough for 2 people. You have more than enough, actually. That's what he said. You have more than enough for 2 people. More than enough. So after that, the back of the apartment, homegirl's putting on her tampon and her panty liner. And then, Terry, she's also getting ready. They both just basically getting ready, trying to figure out where to go. She didn't want to go to the house party. She said, let's go somewhere where they're intellectuals, people my height, in depth, in conversation, basically people that share the same sentiments that she does. I'm like, Terry, girl, are you trying to find a husband? Or are you trying to go out and have fun? What are you talking about? What? Anyway, they went to the club, doing drugs, doing Molly. Arabella was out of control. Like, what? Are you kidding me? She went to the bathroom. She was supposed to get drinks or a drink for herself. Getting a bump. Not getting a bump. She did a bump in the bathroom and then came back out and then went back to get drinks again because she forgot. Terry was like, girl, where's the drink? She was like, oh, I forgot. And then went to the bathroom. She was just high out of her mind. So by the time she came back, Terry was over it. She was just like, child, I'm just going to watch you dance. And Arabella was dancing with everybody and everything. She was she was so high. She was dancing. She was just dancing everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere this girl could dance. The guy at the club kept having to pull her off. I was like, this girl is wasted. And Terry told her, she's like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And she said something like, I love you too. Terry's like, what? No, I'm leaving. Now, Terry's fucked up. She's not fucked up. Let me not say that. That's a bit too much. But I have never in the history of going out with my homegirls, I feel like I'm usually always like either I finish till the party's done, or after a while you just want to go before everybody's leaving at the same time and it's like crowded to leave. I have never had to leave any of my homegirls at the club. If we went to the club together, we're leaving together. I'm not leaving without you. And you saw that this girl, I feel like Terry wasn't as high as Arabella. So for that fact alone, she should have been like, yo, I'm over it, but I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait. She didn't do that. And I wish she just stayed, because this is the part where Terry felt guilty and what they were talking about in episode 2. So I now understand. I don't think Terry should have left, and I'm not blaming her for anything, but I don't think she should have left at all. I think even though you're annoyed with your friend right now, clearly this girl is so high. She's so high. She over here dancing with anything. I don't think Terry should have left her, because, you know, on her way to leaving, something could have happened to her, to either one of them. Anyway, that happened when I guess her high was now wearing down Arabella's high, and she realizes, where's my friend Terry? She didn't even know Terry left because she was so high. And she was freaking out, panicking, freaking out. She waited till the entire club was done, till everybody left, till they locked the doors. And Biagio had already noticed her at this point. So he's like, what's going on? She basically explains to him. She throws up. She's like, you can see the throw up right there. It looks so nasty, y'all. So basically he stayed with her throughout the whole thing. And they went back to her apartment, and she was like, if this girl is not in her room, if she's not in this apartment, I'm going to call the cops. And he's like, good, so I can leave. He just wanted to basically make sure that she was okay and she was safe. My girl opened. She didn't even knock. She opened. Did she knock? Maybe she did. She knocked but didn't wait for a response, maybe. And then opened the door, and Terry was getting her freak on. Terry was having a threesome. Okay. Earlier when she said she was going to fuck in that bed, she meant what she said. And what she said wasn't bullshit. Because here we are, and it's happening. And she's living her best life. It's happening. Anyway, the way this happened, I forgot to mention this. When Terry left the club earlier, when she left Arabella on her way back to the apartment, a guy in front of a club or in front of a lounge or in front of whatever saw her. He said something witty that she liked, and then she went to the club or inside of the lounge with him. Now, this is why I also say I think Terry was wrong for leaving Arabella, because you weren't tired. You were just over the fact that Arabella was so high. It just wasn't fun for you as much in the moment, because if she was tired, she would just kept walking and went to the apartment. She was talking to the guy. Now they dancing. He went to go get her drinks. I was so scared for her. Because I didn't know if, we just saw in previous episode that Arabella's drink was spiked. And I was like, oh my God, I hope this is not about to be spiked. I hope there's nothing wrong with the drinks. So guy goes to get the drink, and another guy comes and he wants to dance with her. And the way he was standing there, I automatically thought he was a creep. I assumed he was a creep because he was being weird. He was looking at her weird, staring at her. All he wanted to do was dance. So I was like, okay, whew. And then the guy comes back, the first guy comes back with the drink. And he was like, I'm not going to interrupt. So now back to the apartment. Those two guys, the one with the drink and the other guy that was dancing with her, that's who she had a threesome with. I was like, you go, girl. Okay. Live your best life. I see you, sis. Huh. She had fun. And Arabella was like, okay, my bad. And she now goes back to talking to Biagio. And then she's talking to him. She's getting higher again. Like she's doing another bump. And I was like, girl, are you not tired? What? Are you not tired? What is going on? Are you not tired? But anyway, he's super cool. They're talking, they're laughing, doing all this other stuff. And then they both agreed to have sex. Okay. And earlier, I'm like, wait, isn't this girl on her period? And then when they were talking, they're making out. And then she remembers, she's like, fuck, that she really wanted to, but she's on her period. And she's like, I don't think, I've never had to do this, especially with somebody I don't know. But they tried anyway. So they go to the bed. She lays down a white towel. And then they're making out. And then he says, can I take your tampon out? A lot of things don't make me squeamish. A lot of things don't disgust me, especially when it comes to like sexual stuff. Because I mean, when you're grown, you could do whatever the fuck you want. Stuff like that, it really does not gross me out. But that grossed me out. I was like, ill. He took out the tampon and then they were about to do it. I think he was fingering her, yes. And then he felt a blood clot. And then he proceeds to play with it. Is this normal? That's what y'all do? That's how I was when I was watching this. It's just, this is not Jello. Put it down. Go wash your fucking hands, you nasty. She explains to him what it is, but like, I'm gonna move on because I was so confused about it. I was just like, are guys they just want to know everything? Where he was playing with it like it was. Anywho, so now cut to Terry. She's done with her threesome and she's like, this was fun. And, it looked like she had a lot of fun. She was like, yes. One of the guys, the one that I thought was a creep, was like, it was nice meeting you guys, because like there were two different guys that she brought back here to have a threesome with. And she was like, yeah, that was wild. This was fun. So they leave, and what's his name? Biagio she was about to leave out the room, and then Biagio saw her. He looked at her. He kind of looked at her in a judgmental way, but it's like, sir, mind your business. Mind your business. This is none of your, mind your business. But he leaves. He goes back to Arabella or whatever after he threw her blood clot in the toilet and flushes, and I just didn't understand. Okay, I'm moving on from that. Anyway, so Terry goes back in her room. She closes the door. Now she's texting Kwame like, dude, I just had a threesome in Italy. Like, what? And Kwame is like, what? Tell me all about it. So this is like, she's looking out the window. And this is when I realized this show is not just about like sexual assault. It's about consent. Now, clearly these two guys played her. Yes, she was willing, or she wanted to, and she did have sex with both of them. But in that moment, there was no consent of her having sex with two friends. because she didn't know. They played her. The way Terry is, from what they've shown us so far, most likely she would have been down with it anyway. And even if she wasn't, it would have been up to her to not be down with it. This was violation. She was violated. I know some people may not see it that way, but she was. There was no consent. And then you can see when she realized that she was violated, the two guys were outside. They were walking together. They were dapping each other up. And then the moment that she noticed that that's what happened to her, you could see her whole happiness, her whole expression, everything just changed. And she didn't consent to having sex with two friends. She didn't. And that is a violation. That is a violation. And it just, oh my God, this show is beautifully written and beautifully laid out. And I know these are bad things that happen to people, but the way like that they're doing the storytelling is really, really amazing. And just shout out to Michaela and shout out to Sam Miller for directing it this way, because consent comes in a lot of different ways. Okay? It does. I felt so bad for her. I felt so bad for her. Because while she was realizing that, here come Arabella trying to interrupt. She was like, no, we're not done. We're not done. She lied about that, obviously, because like she was reeling in the moment of, they dead ass just violated me. Oh, I was so mad for her. I was so mad for her. Anyway, Arabella told her, well, you know, we're just going to go somewhere. I wanted to see if you wanted to come. And she was like, no, we're not done. And Arabella and Biagio left. So when they got to the beach, I don't know, or when they got to the gate, I didn't know if he like broke in there, like, or he had a key. I don't know. That wasn't really clear to me. Anyway, they get to the beach, they're talking. Clearly they have some kind of chemistry and they like each other. And he's like, you know, you're really cool. And then he's like, I'm sorry for the job that I have because, or he's ashamed of it or something like that. Because his mom and his sister OD'd on heroin. How is this your job? I don't think I would be able to do something like that. And I don't know, basically, we don't know if they're going to go anywhere with his story, but that's sad and that's fucked up. Like, your mom's died from this, your sister died from this, and this is how you're making your money. I don't get it. But he later on goes to tell Arabella, you know, I think you're really, really cool, and I think you should stop doing drugs. First of all, don't preach to her about don't do drugs, kids. But you literally sold her the drugs. Don't tell her not to do drugs. And that's basically what she said. She was like, don't be trying to regulate the thing. Like, no, don't be a party pooper. Like, the nerve of you telling me not to do drugs, but you sold me the drugs. Make it make sense. Friend, make it make sense. How? The math is not mathing. It's not computing, sir. It's not. We're not, nope, it's not happening, nope. But she basically says, yeah, no, don't do that preaching stuff to me. Don't be a party pooper. And he says to her, or I think she says to him first, because I think he had the last word. She says to him, just like, look at the stars and enjoy the stars. Like, look at the stars, okay? And obviously she's high. And he says to her, when you get in trouble, don't come crying to me. And I'm just like, ooh, what do you mean, sir? I literally may not even ever see you again. I mean, we know she does. But, and then that's how the episode ends, like just showing us the beauty of the water. And the episode ends like that. And that's what happened in Italy. Sound off. Let me know how you feel about this episode. And like I said in the beginning of the episode, I know I want to do like discussions like Monday afternoons or Monday evenings to talk about the show, because it comes out No. Why do I keep thinking it comes out Sunday? I keep saying Monday evenings. It comes out Monday nights. What? Scratch that I said that earlier. What was I thinking? Tuesday evening, because then it would have given people what? Because it came out Sunday first, right? Tuesday evening, because it comes out Monday night. I want to make sure people have enough time to watch it, throughout that night or like throughout the day Tuesday, and then we can do it. And we can do a live after like afternoon, evening, and then I'll schedule it like that after a lot of people have watched it. That's what I was trying to say. I kept saying after. But after most people have watched it, and then I can do like a recap, and then we can have like a live discussion. Yeah, maybe? No? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Let's talk about it in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, like this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.